Hey guys, Darren here again with another box review. This time I'm reviewing a box of 1990 Pro Set Series 1. This is, for me, this is homecoming in essence. This was one of the first three sets that I collected, and it actually became a little bit tricky as I was going through the packs because I got into the rhythm of the way that I collected back before, and so I was less able to appreciate the cards on an individual basis. I'm basically too familiar with these cards, which was kind of interesting to experience. But this was one of the most important card sets of all time. This basically started design for the 1990s. That's really what this is about. And these cards continue to stand the test of time. They are great card designs, period. They just are. And the entire industry reacted to how well designed these cards were. It's a fun set, but it was also one of the most mass-produced card sets of all time. I mean, these cards, Lud Denny established a whole new level of junk wax beyond everybody else, and what you get is some really interesting situations where you do get lots and lots of cards. I mean, the cards are beautiful, but they have so many copies that have been printed over time. But he also, right here I have era cards, and you can kind of tell the progression that they were going through these boxes by the era cards, because this, for instance, is a crazy card where this is the corrected version of the Hall of Fame logo. However, they corrected this and they made an error on the date of his birth. So this is a corrected error card, and this is the most common copy of his cards. It's still not a corrected card. They did a final correction late in the print run, and those are very rare to come upon. So in this box, I have some error cards, like in the case of Eloanobi and Thomas here, they don't have the stripes, whereas the other two rookies do. So there are 4 of these rookies in the set. 2 of them have the stripe, and 2 of them are still missing it and haven't been fully corrected. So that's one of the weird things about these boxes, is that Pro Set, at this time, they created a factory, and by owning their own factory, they could make changes as they wished, print cards as often as they wanted. So they just go down to the factory, make some corrections, and submit the new ones. And so now there are a ton of corrected cards because they corrected most of the errors that they ran into. Some of them some of them needed to be, some of them weren't. So it's a crazy set in many different regards, but again, it's beautiful. So as I went through the packs, first off, the set, I came within 13 cards of the set. Now technically I came within 12. Lawrence Taylor is the only player of note that I did not get, but I got everybody else of note in the set, so that was good. And coming within 12 or 13 that's not too bad. This is, however, one of those 13 cards, and the reason I don't have it in is because on the back, the red ran out. You can see little splotch marks of red, which has a really cool quality to it. It doesn't look good, but it's fun as a collector to run into this and see what a Miami Dolphin card looks like without the ink. So here's Dan Marino's card, and you can see the difference between the two cards. So it's always fun to run into these cards because Pro Set had a tendency of these cards sometimes running together. I have cards where I have one player on one side, one player on the other. I actually have a card where I have a Pro Set football card on one side and a basketball card, an NBA Hoops card on the back. They got a little carried away with how frequently they were changing stuff out. But the packs, a little note about this, these types of packs are designed to tear apart. They're designed to basically turn into little fragments. And the reason that they're designed to fall apart is because prior to 1989, all packs were wax packs. But the problem with a wax pack is you can open it, pull cards out, and then actually reseal it. So Upper Deck, Pro Set, and Score, they started doing these packs that literally disintegrate when you open them, so you can't reseal them. And for an obsessive compulsive person like myself, it's really tough because I don't like shredding things, even though it gets thrown away. I just don't like that. So that's just a little note. And then in every single pack, they have a playbook, and they are actually numbered. So every single series, you have 89 Series 1, Playbook 1, 89 Series 2, Playbook 2. This is 1990 Series 1, so this is 3, and then Series 2 would have an IV for 4. So it's not that there's anything distinctive about it, it's just that that's kind of the release that they have. And it is a scratch off, and basically this tells you how many points you have for their Pro Set Gazette, their store, and then this side is a contest. None of this stuff matters anymore because they were contests at the time, but every single pack does have one of those. And also in every pack you have, it's pretty good, the distribution. You have 1 or 2 of the first 30 cards, which is league leaders, Hall of Famers, and rookie award winners. And then you have a bunch of players, player cards, and coaches. That was a big thing they were doing. And then you have a couple of Pro Bowlers, almost always 2, and then you have a Super Bowl art card. So this was a complete set of all the Super Bowls, 24 at this point, and every single one has the silver border all the way around the outside, which does a good job of framing it. And then this is the art that they created for the Super Bowl that they used in the programs. And some of these really are quite exquisite. So you run into one of those in every single pack. And they did do one, they did, I think it was 2 SP cards in 1991. But one of the, for Series 1 in 1990. But one of those was their 1989 themed. So here is the Super Bowl 24 theme art. And this is what the 89 would have looked like if they'd done it in 89. They did this every single year. They would make another one of these so you could expand the set out. And they made a few of these as well that continued out. But this replaced one of these in the pack. So I actually got 25 Super Bowl cards because of that. Series 2 has the MVPs of each Super Bowl. Let me show you the art. So some of the art is pretty primitive because, you know, it's the 1960s and 70s. But then by the time you get to the end of the 70s and into the 80s, you start getting some much better Super Bowl art. And it's a great set in that regard, and the framing works beautifully as well. So that's a great quality to this set. It's a fun set to collect, and it's very common. So it's easy to get a complete set in the box, and I did. The set, like I said, came within 12. The insert set came complete, and then with the doubles, I got not that many doubles. So I got a decent amount of doubles. It's about a third again as many. And so the fact that I'm missing in truth 12 isn't that bad. In terms of the cards I got from the doubles, I got very few cards of any note in terms of the doubles themselves. I got a Bob Greasy, I got a Deion Sanders, Jim Kelly, Richard Dent, 2 Mike Singletaries, one of the few cases where I got a third copy, Chris Carter, and then of course the greatest and most important of the Super Bowls. So that was what I got in terms of doubles. So I really didn't pull in too much from it. In terms of the set, just so that you can see the really good cards they have in it, you know, you got Barry Sanders and Joe Montana, as well as this Joe Montana, which is an error card. There are 2 of them for league leaders, as well as Thurman Thomas and Rod Woodson. And then you have Greasy, Hendricks, and down here there's also Franco Harris and Jack Lambert in terms of the Hall of Famers, along with Landry. And then you have, so with Ditka, this is the corrected, and it's got the smaller font. You got Aikman, Michael Irvin, Elway, Tim Brown, Dan Marino, Joe Montana, and Jerry Rice. Those are the star players. And the reason for that is because in Series 2, they have the Pro Bowlers for the NFC, and in this set they have here's the pack. In this set they have the Pro Bowlers for the AFC. So what they did was really smart, which was anytime there was a Pro Bowler in the set, they did not have the regular cards. So all of these stars ended up in the second series, and that means that the NFC stars are in this set, and then the AFC stars you have to wait till the other set. But neither John Elway or Dan Marino were in the Pro Bowl, so they didn't make it into the Series 2 set. But I did mention about the error cards, and so these are the error cards I got. So I got the Joe Montana error card where there is a stat for 3,521 yards, and then they later on give that to Jim Kelly as well as 3521. So if you see the two 3521s, that's the error. Like I said, there's no stripe, so that you know what the stripe looks like. Let's see, here's Andre Ware has the draft stripe, and as well as Percy Snow. So they're supposed to have that. And then with Franco Harris and Jack Lambert, it's their date of birth. Sterling Sharp, it says that he was born in Glenville, Georgia. He was actually born in Chicago. Andre Rison, this is without the trade stripe, and it's without the back, so that's that version. And then with this one, like I said, they have the date of birth wrong, but at least they have the Hall of Fame correct. So that's basically what I ended up with the box. It is fun, but again, the cards are beautiful. This was a remarkably, amazingly designed card set. There are some cards that aren't all that great, but for the most part, every single card is just a magnificent sight to see. And it's something that has almost never been done. And that was a big part of what made these cards so great. So I wish I could have just soaked in the sight of every single card as I went through. But like I said, to me, this set is too close to my heart. It's too personal. I know this stuff too well. And so as I went through, I wasn't able to really appreciate the beauty of every single card. I was actually a little bit more interested in collecting the set and finalizing the set. That's where my mind was. But so I'm jealous of anybody who's able to open up one of these and just take the time to really appreciate the look of every single card, because if it's part of what made me a card collector. Is these cards, the way that they look, the way that they felt, that has become my life, and I judge everything else by it, and that's why all new cards suck, because none of them are anywhere near as good as these cards. They just don't hold a candle. So that's basically my take. This was fun. It was like going home. If you've never had the chance to look at these cards, truly, if you've never had the chance to look at these cards, take the time. They're amazing, and they are way overproduced. They're easy to find. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching.